things to sell on eBay that you guys went with me on. I'm going to go ahead and show you the things we got yesterday. Seems like I find which is which here. Da-da-da-da. Here was one. Actually, I had gone to Walmart in the morning, and this item was real catchy. That would have been cute for my daughter. Hello, hello. Hey, Roxanne. I got this actually at Walmart at the beginning of my day for $4. And the retail was, I think, $7 is the retail. And that was on sale for $4. And it's kind of like a painted and pave heart thing. Probably a leftover from Valentine's Day, but that was kind of a cool little hunt. And let's see, what do we get here? Let's see which one this is. Oh, I went by Joanne Fabrics, and I got these rhinestones were on sale. I was looking for the mirrors to put on these hats that I still haven't shown you, but they had a sale. I pay $4.78 for this is regular $8 for some big giant stones, and it's 1 pound of stones. And they're just the plastic ones, but I have some. I thought I better get more. And I actually went in there to look for these feathers. It was the only bag they had left, because I'd asked the girl, because usually they have the white and the browns and then some other colors. And she said, oh, that there might be maybe a bag or two in the back. And I said, really? And she says, yeah, they're off the shelves. They're in the sales section at Joanne Fabrics there. So I went to the back. This is the only one I found. It said $2.47 on the clearance. And that I paid $1.85 for. Okay. And then I had to get some lever back. I really like the way these look when you're making earrings or replacing some. And they have the little hole to hang the stuff in instead of little wire ones. And those were $2.99, and I got those for $8.79. I use the app, and I go in there. Your phone, it's really hard to work in there. And that was Joanne Fabrics. It gets you a discount, it says, on one item. And it's usually about 40%. And were those from a storage what? I can't see it. Were those from a storage room, storage, or from a store? What? What was from a storage or a store? The items you're showing. No, I'm showing you from each place that we went to yesterday in our travels. I did lives all day long on going around and getting things because I wanted to go see a store that one of my coworkers told me about, where he told me you could get $20 flat screen TVs because I had offered to sell him mine, and he wanted to pay me like $20. And I was like, no way, for like a 42-inch flat screen. So I wanted to go see this store because I've never had time to go mess with it. And, heard from other people it was so great, and that they took broken stuff and they would fix it even, where, Goodwill used to do that. And that store, that was not true. But now I only went through part of it. I will need to go back to go examine some more. But the new store that opened with no name on it by the Washateria and the Piggly Wiggly and Mary Esther, kind of catty corner of the Santa Rosa Mall, then across the street from the Hertz rent-a-car. A girl from Virginia that's really nice just opened that store there, and she was like so glad to relocate here, but she hates how high the rents are. She found a place for $1,200 and said it was absolutely terrible. And I said, no, actually that's dirt cheap for right now because everything's over $2,000. So I don't know, but she doesn't want to go back to Virginia. But she opened a secondhand store, and she's solely on donation. Because I said, you get all this from storage auction? She said, no. She says, all donated. And she has a big sign out front where you can donate furniture, everything. But she gets mad when they bring furniture. She'll put it outside the building because she says she doesn't have enough room. Now, it's set up nicely. So the prices are way, way, way too high for this area for secondhand. You know, unless you're a specialty collector and the stuff's really clean and undamaged, then you can do things like that. But the stuff is not. It's pretty much just, you know, secondhand store type stuff. She did have some other pieces I was interested in, but they were just way overpriced. So there would be no way I could really make money on it, and it would take too much work to clean it up. But this is what's interesting. I got a pair of these competition shoes that are in really good shape and not bad. All that inside can be cleaned with alcohol very easily. And I can sell those as used or decorate them and also sell them as used, and they will sell very well. And that's those are expensive. That's a competition style for bikini competitions or weightlifting competition for bodybuilding or dance competition. I used to wear clear shoes like this on the dance floors years ago, and they will cut your feet up and your feet sweat. I was never a great fan of the plastic shoes after I owned a pair that was about $300. They just weren't what they're supposed to be, so I hate wearing them. And two, they're really popular right now with the younger showgirls. They just love them. And three, all the pairs I used to sell that were made by Pleaser, every one of them broke in about 3 hours. And let me tell you, the last thing you want is a pissed off dancer after you. But I got those for $2. She didn't have a price on them. She goes, $2. So I took those in a heartbeat. And then I got these go-go plastic things, which these are really popular. I don't know if they'll come off. They may not. No. But just to get little peace signs, they're real popular right now. Peace stuff on clothes and everything, like from the 60s. I got those. I think she sold them to me for $0.25. The bad part was she had a big old cash register and couldn't make receipts. Because, you know, I like receipts so I can go over what they charged me and then what I need to retail at. Because I buy for resale. I rarely buy for me. Now this is a pair of shoes. They look like, I can't tell if they're size 9 or 6. I think they're 9. And these are real cute. I don't like shoes with zipper on the back. I have 2 pairs I bought for me back in like 2006, and I hate them. They hurt on the back. But that girl there, she says, my favorite shoes are the ones that zip in the back. And I was like, wow, I don't know how you wear them. But these are really nicely put together. The stones are not sewn on. They're actually set on, which is nice. So I'll resell these. I got these for $5. Let's see if they might even be leather. And I'll resell those on eBay. They're awfully good looking. Wished I could even wear them, but they're a little bit big. But Dr. Scholl's and Crocs. I don't like that plastic shoes. I can't stand Crocs. But I had a very good doctor friend of mine that started wearing them a lot. Let's see. I don't think these are leather. I don't know. I'm just thinking they're not. I'm trying to see the labels and they're a little bit worn. But those are real pretty shoes. And then here's something I got. Now, I'm not a real pro on a lot of old stuff. All I know is what I grew up around, like, at my grandpa's house and found in the garage, at his house and stuff when I was a little kid. And just a few things that I've seen. This would have been good for my youngest daughter's dad's sister, because the inside of her house out in Jackson, Tennessee, she has a lot of antique kitchen-y stuff like washboards and stuff. And this would have been really neat for her house. She likes all this old stuff. This is a Wonder Shredder. And it's for shredding cheese. And it's in really, really nice shape. There's like no rust on it. It's real clean. It doesn't look like she cleaned it or anything. And this, oddly enough, she had everything so high priced. This was over on the shelf next to the window with a bunch of cookware and stuff. And this was $3. Okay? Wonder Shredder. And I thought, well, that's probably from like the 50s, So I went to research it last night. And actually, this is from the 1930s. This exact version of it. 1930s. So the retail on this as vintage used is $50 to $30 without shipping. And none of them look this good. They're really raggedy, where all the finish was wore off. So, yeah, 1930s. Pretty wild, eh? Okay, let me see if I can find out this other bits. Let's see. This other one's from the other day. I need to vlog that separate. If I can find this other one, let's see if it's over here. Nope. Okay. Maybe this will be it. Nope. That's not it. That's another vlog I gotta do. Let me see if this is it. Is this it? Nope. Well, I need to find out what happened to the other. Oh no, here it is. This is just it. I guess this is it. Okay, so always get receipts. This one says Fresh Start for Children, which is Repeat Street Store. I don't know why it says Fresh Start for Children, but maybe that's what they donate to. And they were way overpriced, and the parking was absolutely frightening. Too many people, but again, I went at around 3, and then when I went in there, like just a few minutes after I got there, it was like, we're closing. And I'm like, well, what time do you close? They're like 3 or 3:30 or something like that. I was like, oh, okay. So, and they're really slow to check you out. They're elderly people, and they're terrible slow to be able to show you something, even when they're not busy, and then to check you out. I am not lying. My first purchase was this. It took probably 7 or 8 minutes for them to actually ring it up after I said I would like to have it. And this I paid $5 for. This is a sterling silver, not even been polished, old puzzle ring, like from the 70s. I had 3 of these in my life. I thought they were really nifty. They're really nifty until the sucker comes apart. Because all these pieces are all separate rings, and they come apart. And then you have to find some joker that knows how to take these apart and put them back together, because you'll never get it back together. Okay? It's sort of like Rubik's Cube. So I paid $5 for that, which is probably okay. I haven't researched it, but it's sterling. Most of them were all sterling back then. You never really found a fake one. And then I was looking at this. It says Vice President of the United States. So I don't know if this was something that was sold as a collector's piece, like all that stuff that you can order on the internet, and they sell it for really expensive, and you buy one and they mail it to you, and it's supposed to be a collector series. It's set in resin. And I said, well, what is that thing? And they didn't know, so they went to hand it to me. I said, you know, that old round thing. It was in the jewelry case. And I turned it over, and it says $1. And I said, okay, I'd like to buy this. So that took another 10 minutes for them ringing it up. And then they said, oh, we're closing. I was like, oh, man. So I'm like kind of dodging around trying to look at stuff near me. They had a nice necklace. The lady pulled it out. She was real elderly. And she said, this is coral. But actually, it looked like turquoise. It's hard to tell if it's like that turquoise or whatever. But she's like, well, this one's a little higher price because it's coral, but it wasn't coral. And it was kind of a cool piece, but they had it priced at 50, and I'm not going there. That's just, not cheap enough to try to resell because I would have to examine it to see if it was real turquoise or not, and what kind of turquoise, because there's several kinds of turquoise. There's like manufactured turquoise and all that stuff, and turquoise, and the manufactured turquoise is garbage. But yeah, I mean, this store, Repeat Street, was like, hey, was like a little, more like a retail store than a used store. And I also ran into a girl that I used to do storage auctions with. She's a retired nurse, and she does it on the side to make money, and reselling it. She puts it in a flea market style complex, rents a booth, and pays them a percentage of sales every month. She thinks she's making a ton of money, and she's not, because that's the worst thing you can do. Those consignment deals are such a ripoff. And I've got some at good price and some at bad price. Hey, what's up? So anyway, I haven't researched this yet, but I just thought it was kind of interesting piece. But it might be one of those collectors ones, like you get on TV commercials, and they advertise, and then you pay a bazillion dollars. Consignments are trash. I've done it lots of times. The problem is they don't guarantee if your stuff gets stolen. Everybody's walking through. Nobody watches it. Their bookkeeping's absolutely crap, because what they do is they put little tags on there with numbers, and the number reflects your booth. So when the people carry it around and they take it to the counter, then you have to stand there and wait for them to ring you out, whether you have 3 items or 25. And they got a little book right there, and they write down the number of the ticket and take the ticket. And it goes in a bag for the daily sales also. And so you don't have any tickets on any of the merchandise if you're a shopper. And you really need a receipt, and then you have to write down everything on the receipt so you know what you paid for it. So it's really confusing as a shopper. And then that's how they, do the ledger for the sales. And then they, at closing, they balance all that out by, putting all those numbers to the sale booths, sales for the day. And then when they so-called pay you like once a month, then they take their cut out of it, which is generally, in the consignment shops, is generally 30 to 60%. And I used to make children's dresses. When I left California and moved to Oklahoma, I did a consignment there, and I was doing absolutely gorgeous, like the Mexican style little girls' dresses with covered in lace and all that kind of stuff, and doing an embroidery trim on all the edges and all that. A real beautiful tie in the back, short sleeve, beautiful little dresses that you could also put petticoats with for little bitty girls. And I had done a whole bunch of those, and put them in that shop, and they were telling me how they could sell and everything. I did kids' clothes at consignment, made a few dollars, but you have to check it every month. I know. And the problem is when, there's theft, and then when you go, well, I'm missing like 6 pieces out of my booth. So you sold 6, so where's the money? And they're like, no, we didn't. And it's all goofed up. And so it was just too much argument. I went like 3 months, and I pulled all my stuff out. I was just through, because they sold several pieces, and then I only made like $15. And I'm like, my God, I paid for everything to make them with. Yeah, there's a lot of hassle with them. Consignment is a bullcrap deal. Don't ever do it. It is 100% worthless. Uberman Tampa started doing a consignment thing. So you're going to regret it. Because I'm telling you, their insurance is not going to cover theft. They're lying to you, and that's the first thing you have to ask them. So, do you do an inventory? What if any of my stuff gets stolen? I need to know if you have video cameras. Will salespeople be watching? What do you keep? So that there's no theft. Will there be theft tags on my items? Will they be locked up? Do I have to buy my own case? The jewelry showcase and put a lock on it and then leave you guys a key, or what needs to be done. So you they're really crap. The last one I did was in Esto, Florida, and my daughter and I took down I used to get car seats on the side of the road and stuff, and they were like brand new, and I'd wash them down really good, leave them out in the sunshine, and then spray them with Lysol, and then polish up the plastic and everything. And you have to take them all apart to do it too, because you got to clean the seat belts and all that. And there were high-dollar car seats, and I put them down there, and a bunch of other stuff, household items and clothes and stuff. And stuff was disappearing every day, and I didn't get any money. And they told me, okay, we're gonna rent you your space, like a table space, inside this building. They used to be a little auction house, and so people were renting little spaces. And depending on, how big a table, like they go, okay, you get 6 foot space, and it'll be like 75 a month, which was real pricey, but, you didn't have to pay a kickback. But the problem was that my stuff was getting stolen every day, and then found out that one of the car seats that I had in there was really in good shape, got stolen by his son for his son's girlfriend. Yeah, they actually had it in the car riding around. I was pissed. So, and nobody would do anything about it. Nobody would pay me. And I was just sick and tired of it. And I just said, look, I'm pulling out. After the second time I went down there to do inventory, there was so much stuff missing, and I wasn't going to get paid for it. I just said, forget it, I'm pulling out. They get stuff all confused. They would write it down on somebody else's account and pay them. And it was just lame. But anyway, so yeah, they're a ripoff. But yeah, so I got those two pieces, $5 and $1. And I know that without even thinking, I know that the puzzle ring in pure sterling silver will probably be a very good one. I've got to clean it up. And then I'll probably have to buff it with the Dremel a little bit. I could sell it just natural, but, it depends how nicely it cleans up. It's really dirty, so it's not been polished. The silver goes bad real quick. I guess what you call oxidizes, tarnish, really quickly. So that, I remember the puzzle rings in the 70s, so it might have tarnish from all the way back in the 70s for all we know. But those were yesterday's finds. I did a little tiny bit today because I was trying to get to one store yesterday, but they don't open until Wednesdays. So I went ahead and decided I better go check out this Repeat Street. I've been trying to get to it for about 2 years, and I kind of knew where it was at, and I was right when I thought it was across the street from the scrapyard. And so I ran over there real quick, but God, the parking was just an absolute nightmare. The parking lot is really tiny, and there's a lot of really stupid drivers, and it's real close together. They have like 10 parking spaces, and you're right on top of each other. And I don't like parking next to doors or anywhere near people, because they always get out of my car and bash the crap out of it, drive around it, bash the bumpers. I mean, they don't care. So I always try to park in the back 40, and they still hit it. They drag trailers around it. But I usually park on the back 40 anywhere I go. Just keep from people bashing up, because right now I've got dings all over my car, parking lot dings, and I'm going to have to take the door panels off just to get those out. And so I'm not going to be a happy camper about it, because that's a lot of work to start taking door panels off in pieces to try to get to it. If you can get to it, it depends how the portholes are to the windows. The old cars, you could access the entire door pretty much if you rolled the window up. But on the newer cars, it's a lot more restricted. Sometimes it's through a little porthole or two. And so, being that I've never opened the portholes on this particular car or the door panels, which I'm going to do because I want to grease the window rails and stuff. then I'm not really sure how much access I have to try to get those out. And I've got a couple little tools I'll use to try to knock those out if I can, because they look absolutely terrible. And if you do the one with the glue and all that, and you have to sit and play on it and play on it and play on it from the outside of the door, that is such a pain in the butt. That is entirely too much work, because you can go up in Bama and there's signs down, old roads where, there's an elderly gentleman that sits and does that all day long, and he calls it paintless dent repair. And he has a kit of about 300 of little doodahs to attach to the car and pull that out. And he could sit there so patiently and pull those out for like $15, $20 each. The problem is I've got several from idiot drivers banging on my car. They don't care. They'll even stand there and look at it when they whack the hell out of your car. They don't care. And and it's illegal. When you leave the scene of a crime from damaging somebody's car, that's illegal. And they repo your license in the state of Florida. No lie. So anyway, yeah, it's really aggravating because I have really, really good paint, and they've just dinged the living daylights out of my car terrible. But yeah, consignment stores, they're bite. Um, but I just started to do a little treasure hunting around, and so today I went over to the cat house to go see what they have, because they're kind of reasonable. One of the neatest places to go in the Fort Walton area is Waterfront, but Waterfront's getting to be like Goodwill, to where everything's the price of Walmart, new prices. And that's not like a deal, because I can go to Walmart and get something clean, sterile, that is still in the package. Um, and why would I want to buy it there? You have to be careful, because a lot of stuff is stored in storages, and that's a lot of the donation. Like 70% of what I buy in storage auctions is I donate. Whether it be to the real homeless, or the different, retailer stores of the churches. And then I get receipts, so I have a tax write off for donation. I donate a huge, huge, huge amount. You can't keep it all. And you have to pay to house it. So you got to roll that stuff fast as fire if you buy a storage auction, so you don't end up paying for the storage and all that other stuff. But so furniture and big stuff goes really, really fast. That's super fast. I mean, if you price it good, I price my stuff cheap and I lower it by the day till it's gone. And that's how I get rid of it. I mean, I even get people that go, "Is this real?" Because they think it's a scam because I list it so cheap. But if I'm gonna pay $100 on a unit and I've got a ton of stuff in it, and the rent on the unit is $210, then I need to get rid of it fast, because I don't want to pay that $210. So I go through it like fire. I have my phone with me. I have measuring tape. I have pen and paper, and I list stuff as I'm going through. Even if it's dirty, I'll photograph it, and then I'll re-photograph it after I clean it later, remove those other photographs. But I get it online ASAP. And I mean, I can list something online, and 5 to 15 minutes I will get a ding that, somebody's interested. And so uh, that's the first rule one. The next is gloves and hefty bags, and be very careful what you're going through, because you might find, glass crack pipes, you might find razor blades, broken glass, um, old food, all kinds of stuff. So you have hefty bags for that. All the dirty clothes, you search all the pockets and put it in a big bag, whether it looks stained, damaged, or what. Um, and that will be the stuff that goes to the washateria. And you can't even donate it unless it is clean. And that's a big day at the washateria, and usually costs me $30 to $50 to wash it all. So, and I end up with a lot of camo stuff, which is super popular. And I also sew, so if I have to do any little repairs, I can do it. But so I get a lot of that. But and then I donate a lot of the clothes if they're just not anything that's worth reselling. It's just something plain Jane, something whatever. Um, then I drive around and find the real homeless people, and I give it to them, like if they need sweaters for the winter or tank tops for the summer. I give it to them as a gift, and it's fresh and clean. Um, and then I get boxes or crates, and just kind of plow through stuff, because the thing is, you don't want cockroaches, rats, anything like that. in your stuff and you want fresh, clean boxes. And I'll sort out, like, I'll put some boxes to the side that will go on the internet, and then I'll have another box that I'll have to throw stuff in that's like stuff I'm gonna keep, and then I'll have another box that's just kid stuff. I kind of sort it as I go, but the first thing that goes is all the big stuff, the furniture, refrigerators, any of that stuff is the first thing to go. And yes, I have paid for smaller storages to get out of a storage. Literally have had to pay for a smaller storage. Like, I think it was like $60 the last time I bought a small storage so I could shove all the extra stuff in there, and until I get it sold or get enough room in one of my units to stick it in there or whatever. So you have to watch, how much you're paying out, because you're not making money if you got to pay. I know a lady right now that's got for 6 months, she's got big 10 by 30s she bought one day out here where I didn't buy. And she bought like 5 of them for like $5 each. And she still has them all. And she doesn't spend a lot of time fooling with them. And so she's been paying all these months like $300 a unit for each unit. And that's not very smart. And that's on top of her own storage too. So she pays huge money a month still. And it's like, man, you need to get rid of that stuff. And you can't yard sale at these storage complexes. They aren't going to let you do it. So anyway, so that was yesterday's finds. And then I've got some more for today. Just some little bitty things I picked up today, and we'll go through that on another vlog. But I was so exhausted yesterday, and I just wasn't feeling up to it. I was ready to pass out because all the drama for the past few days, and not much sleep. So I just was just entirely too tired to vlog it last night. And I wanted to so bad. Oh, and by the way, that little guitar right there was from the storage auction. It's got mother of pearl around it. It's got a heart cut out. And it's kind of a medium price guitar, new. I haven't even played it steel string, and I really hate steel string. I love the sound of it. I just don't like playing it because it chop your fingers up. It's a guys. It's good for guys to play steel string than girls, because their hands can tolerate it much more than we can. But I was offered over 200 for it when I was cleaning a unit out, and it was from an acquaintance of mine, and they hadn't bought it from me. They came back about a month ago, and I said, look, if you want it for 100, I'll give it to you for 100. But I was going to keep it for my daughter, um, and because I just thought she would really like it, and I really thought it was neato. So I haven't really done much with it. I haven't even polished it. It's got a little bit of damage because they didn't have it in a case, and it was a boondocking storage. They had a big king size bed in there, and that was laying on top of the bed. So, yeah, so I haven't even fooled with it. I mean, it doesn't have damage. The neck looks straight and all that stuff, oddly enough. They really need to be in cases because they get warped and stuff. Have you ever seen anybody lays a guitar against the wall or something like that? It's really bad for them. It'll warp the neck, and they just, the strings will buzz and everything else when you try to play it. It's just a nightmare. And if you want guitar repair, it's very, 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 very expensive. So, but yeah, that's what that little guitar is. I think it's really neat because it's different, and I'd never seen anything like that. Um, and it's not like those little Walmart guitars, that you see that are pink and blue and all that. They're just trash. Those little Walmart guitars are like $35 new. But this one's real neat. And it's just got cosmetic damage where it's been scratched or banged. But it's not like hurting the sound or anything. I put it in my good guitar case with the humidifiers in it to try to straighten it out, because they get so dry, and they need the moisture. So I've had it for about a week in my case, and I just took it right back out because I put my good guitar back in that case because I've been sleeping with it in my car. But anyway, so that was yesterday's finds that you guys went with me on. And I wanted to show you what I got and what I paid at those different stores. But again, really, the better store, like for Fort Walton, is the cat house over there at what they call Socks, where everything you buy goes to their cat house up front, where they saved cats, and then they put them in good homes, and they don't ever kill them. They'll keep them there for life. If they don't get somebody who wants a cat, it can stay there till it dies, but they will not kill them. It's a shelter thing, and so the store supports the shelter, buying food and cats in and all that other stuff, and their vet bills and all that. And then the other one is the waterfront mission, but it's gotten really pricey, and you know they're getting really high on their prices, like the Goodwill started doing back in the early 2000s. Um, so it's like there's somebody back there on playing on eBay or something trying to price stuff, and it's not exactly accurate, and they get way out on those prices. And then so waterfront's pretty good. I would have loved to have the piano they had there for the longest time, and they had a player piano with rolls in it, but they wanted entirely too much money, and the condition was really rough on it. For that kind of money, I would not pay that kind of money. People are giving pianos away free all day long. If you go look on the internet or the newspaper or whatever, people are giving them away free because they don't want to move them. They're really heavy, they're a real problem to move, and every time you move them to a new place, they have to be redone. You have to call a piano man, and he has to come out there and tune it and humidify it and all that crap, because they just don't do well when they're moved. And then, uh, but I would have loved to have had that, but it kind of got cheaper and cheaper, and I was like, man, if you could get it pretty cheap, I would take it. But then after, I was thrown out of my house with a pool because that lady wanted to sell in a hurry, which took her over a year to sell. Um, I really didn't want to buy it and stick it in storage. I probably should have, but I didn't. And then it sold. It disappeared, so it sold. And they had it down a lot cheaper, and I would have bought it for that, even though it wasn't quite worth that. It was about 300 over the price of what it would be worth. But I just decided not to. When you pay for storage, it's just like you could turn around and go buy new furniture after that stuff's been in there a while. So you got to really make sure what you have in storage is really important and is worth paying storage for. And in my situation, when you're homeless, and that storage is considered like paying rent on a place to live, so you have to justify it. You say, well, it's not so bad because if otherwise I'd be paying rent at a place and my stuff would be there. But if you're trying to save money and trying to get stuff together so that you can relocate, then you want to try to keep your storages at a minimum. Other than the fact, storage is really risky. Places will steal it from you. It gets damaged. They won't do crap about it even when you pay for their insurance. They demand you pay for the insurance, and it doesn't do a darn thing, a darn bit of good. Most of the insurance in this area is $2,000, and you have to furnish pictures and all that stuff, which that's all well and good, and you'd be lucky to get it. And then once you file the insurance, and they want to throw you out. So, and storage is kind of hard to come by right now this month. So, but I don't advise storages, unless you can be around it every day and make sure it's all still there. My storage is leak bad. They rain just like all the other people that rent there. Everything gets rained on. And that's costly too, because when you start buying those big plastic containers like the ones you're looking at, those are $10 each. The black and yellow at Walmart. And then the other bigger ones, they're like $6 each. And you can't stack very many because they cave in. The black and yellow is sturdier, but you need a lot of those black and yellow, and when they're $10 a hit, it's a whole lot of money. One day I spent $200 solid on plastic containers to start housing my stuff in plastic in my storages because of the rain in the storages. It's really expensive. So, but anyway, so that was my treasures from yesterday, from you guys shopping with me and touring about in some of the local places. And I'll do another vlog in a little bit of a few pieces I ran across today at some different places. And it's all this stuff's for resale. It's not stuff I'm going to keep. Um, I mean, there were some great things I saw that I would have loved to have bought to keep for myself, but I just need to, be careful because I may be relocating back to California. So I really need to watch what I'm doing. Even though it'd be so much cheaper here to shop or whatever. The problem is the cost. I'm looking at like 400 boxes to transport alone, not counting my vehicle. And whether I drive it or, get a U-Haul and an auto transport or what, or a shipping company. Right now, we're considering a shipping company. And I don't even know if I really do that because I really don't want to go back to California, but I may have to. I have to decide what is better for me. And I really hate boondocking, man. I absolutely hate it. Um, it's just no way to live. So I do not find it happiness. Very dangerous life, and it's really hard on your car, and it's very expensive because you still got to pay gas and stuff to go around and buy food to eat, and it's. I mean, you're talking over $1,000 a month to boondock, and then I'm turning around paying almost 1,000 a month between my office and my storage units and my parking space. So I mean, yeah, and it would be nice if I could just rent a place, and all this stuff is incorporated with me and live like a human again. But anyway, so there it is. There's our yesterday's treasure hunting, and I'll see you guys in the next vlog. I love you. Thanks for coming by. You have a great day.